Good day, everyone. This is Frost, and this is Frost Moto. So first, thank you God for allowing this to happen. Second, thank you Bristol Philippines, Bristol Cebu, Sir Gerson, the area manager of Cebu, Cebu Bristol, and the people working under Bristol Cebu. Thank you so much for allowing me to borrow the Veloci 500. Sadly, I don't have the time to review in the morning or in the afternoon, so I need to do this in the night. So again, this is the point of view when you're riding the Veloci 500. First thing that I've noticed, the handlebars are nice. It is very relaxed, and the positioning is also very relaxed. This bike is really so underrated. The quality of the side mirrors are okay, and the side mirrors are really okay, but for me, I need to change it to a bar end or something that really resembles as a Cafe Racer or Neo Scrambler. And this is what it looks like if you're driving the Veloci 500. The displays are very clear. So the left side are fuel, middle is odo, upper speed, gear indicator, this is how it looks like, and the left is temperature and ABS. Actually, the Bristol Veloci 500 is a fun bike. This is a dual purpose bike. You can go trail, you can go off-road, you can go city driving, anywhere you want. So this bike is ready to go. So it's just up to you. What is your preference? You want to go trail or you want to go city driving? It can do both with ease. And let us check the quality of the handle grips. So for the handle grips, the quality is actually nice, but I don't love the color. So as you can see to the video, I am wearing a gloves, but the gloves are still sticky on its grip. So this is an added bonus because when you're driving and you're going to trail, the stickiness of a grip really does matter to avoid any slip or any unnecessary accidents. Sadly to say, it does not have any assist slipper clutch. But again, the clutch lever is really nice. So for long rides or city driving, there's no problem. Now let us check the engine brake. So for the engine brake, see fifth gear, let's go to fourth gear. Let's go. So for the engine brake, it isn't actually smooth, but it isn't also actually hard. So it is somewhat in the middle. But actually, it is very nice if you compared it to my Inky 400. This is smoother. And let's check how smooth the gears are. So let's stay for a while and have a neutral. So let's just wait. So third gear, second gear, then neutral. So let's check it. I don't know if you can see to the video, but let's try gear 1. So gear 1. So actually, one of the nice thing about the Bristol Veloci 500 here is how smooth the gears are. Even though it does not have any features aside from dual channel ABS, but the smoothness of the engine, the smoothness of gears are actually nice. No locking up or no gearing up. So this is an added point. So we need to highlight the weight of this bike. So this bike is around 500cc displacement, but the weight is actually 173 kilogram. So those kind of weight is actually belong to 300cc or 400cc bike. So for that one, this bike is really nimble, it's really light. So if you're going to city driving, even if traffic, you're still relaxed. And even though you go to trailing or off-road, it is very easy because there's no challenge to it. It makes you more relaxed and more confident when you're driving the Veloci 500. So also for the turning radius, as you can see to the video, to what I did, it is actually very wide. So imagine that you're driving it in a traffic and you're trying to slice through or corner to certain areas. You can actually do that with ease. So again, that's an added points. And for the headlight of this bike is actually nice, but it isn't that bright, especially if you want to go to any places that are really dark, for example, trailing or off-road or in a province ride. You need to add extra auxiliary light for safety. I'm not saying that the headlight isn't that bright, but you know, we need to ensure the safety of ourselves and the safety of the bike. So again, you need to add extra auxiliary lights for this one. So I believe I am done with the external overviews of this bike. So now let us go to the interior details of this bike. What we have here is the Bristol Veloci 500, and this bike is so underrated. Why does it is so underrated? Because first, at a price point of 358,000, you will get a 500cc displacement. The aesthetic is also nice. Dual purpose bike, can go city driving and off-road. Perfectly fit for Filipino roads. And aside from that, and I want to highlight this one, the weight is 173 kilogram, and again, this is a 500cc category. And above all, it has a single-sided swing arm. Where can you see at a price point of that, at a category of this one, that you will get a single-sided swing arm? So that for that one, this bike really stands out. So again, the Bristol Veloci 500 has been here since 2018, and they are assembled here in the Philippines. I know what you are thinking, that this bike is not durable, but you are greatly mistaken, because the parts are all outsourced. So the technology, the components are all outsourced, but they're all assembled here in the Philippines, that they go to a very deep research and development with reliable people who are working on this one. So again, the Bristol want to provide us with a very good product that can simply be fitted for the Filipino people and also for its road condition. So this is the Bristol Veloce 500. So before we start, subscribe if you want motorcycles and push the notification bell if you want updates. So intro. Let's have a sound check. Before we go to the interior details of this bike, let us just appreciate the beauty of its engine. So first, I really love the color combination of the Bristol Veloce 500. There's silver here and somewhat black chrome. I don't know what kind of material is this, but actually it is nice. Second that I've noticed is how properly well made the materials, or I mean how properly protected the wires that connects to the engine. So this one really gives a lot of distinction and bonus to the Bristol Veloce 500 and how prepared and how they are really into their product. The second thing that I love is how cool the shifter is. You can see that it's very thick and sturdy material. So let us go and check it. Actually, this is really nice, to be honest. And it is really smooth. Even though it does not have any features, it is really smooth. Bristol really knows what they are doing. They are really thinking ahead of the time. So again, for the foot peg, the rubber can be removed. The reason of that is to have a better grip while you're going off-road or track day. So to have the shoes should be more stuck even if you go to any muddy road or debris that it might hit. And one of the nice thing is how they protected the shifter. So the pointed thing is foldable. As you can see, the purpose of that is for your safety and it does not have any serious damage. So again, the Bristol are really doing more than what we deserve. So this is a really nice thing. And now let us go to the technology. So the ECU that they are using here came from Bosch. So I don't need to explain anything for it because we all know that Bosch is really a really big company. So the technology they are using here came from Delphi Technologies. You can actually Google that and search for it. Actually guys, the Bristol really came from a very deep history. It came from Hartford motorcycles. So you can also Google that for your own reference. So the Bristol Veloce 500 is a really good brand. Very sad news, it's raining and I just washed this bike and applied some wax. So again, ay nako, let's wait for another couple of hours and I'm running out of time because I'm busy. But let us wait. If ever this rain wouldn't stop, so I will just let myself get wet just to finish this vlog. Yeah, let's wait. So let us go to the engine specs. Even though it's raining, I just want to finish this vlog because I'm really excited to upload this to my YouTube channel. So again, it has a 471cc, 2-cylinder parallel, liquid-cooled, 4-stroke, 4 valves, dual overhead cam, 6-speed transmission. So again, 4 valves each cylinder, a total of 8. So the bore and stroke is 67 by 66.8 millimeter. That gives a max power of 35 kW at 8,500 RPM. That provides a max torque of 43 Newton meter at 6,500 RPM, and the compression ratio is 10:7:1. We are not yet done, but I'm just gonna show you a little top speed that I did while I was riding this bike. This video is not for being arrogant, but just to show you or tell you how powerful the engine is. So let us go. I hope you saw the video where I was speeding up. The purpose of that video is just to show you how powerful the engine is, that this bike is not just beauty at all. So again, this is what they call the Veloce 500. So this type of bike is a classic scrambler type or a neo cafe racer. But again, this bike is a dual purpose bike. It can go off-road and city driving. So again guys, Bristol really did their best here again. Because especially if you're in Philippines, we're not in other countries, so other bikes are not capable of going off-road. So this bike are ready to go. Can go off-road or city driving. So especially if you're living in the countryside, that the roads are uneven, so this bike is for you. This bike has a powerful suspension, a powerful tire, a powerful engine. It can go up a hill and down a hill. The braking power is also nice. The suspension is very nice. So again, you should consider the Bristol Veloce 500 if you're going to any off-road places or if you're in the countryside. So again, this is the Bristol Veloce 500. Now let us check the panel or the cockpit. So this is it. So what we see here is the ABS, RPM, speedometer, trip or kilometer, oil. And you can see here the check engine, and this is the fuel and the temperature, neutral. So if you want to see where the gear indicator is, let's see it. So that's the gear indicator is here. So just go back to neutral. So if you want to change it to another trip, you're just gonna click the button here. So that's the trip. So if you want to hold it, it's gonna change to miles. So I don't like miles. So let's go back to kph. So again, so the bottom here is for the ABS. So actually one of the nice thing about this bike, because this bike is good for off-road, you can actually turn off the ABS. So you can turn it off and on. So for me, that's one of the nice thing about this bike, especially if you're gonna go or you're tracking. So you just click it. So that's it. So for me, one of the negative side of this bike is it does not have a time indicator. So for me, that's a very important, because you will know that where you're going or how much time how much time left to whatever you want to do. So again, this is what they call a digital panel TFT display. So I don't know what that kind of means. It's not really a TFT display and it's not just digital. So I believe this is somewhat in the middle. So let us go to the switches. So for the switches, guys, I know I heard a lot of people talking that the switches are really not that good quality. So for me, actually it is a nice quality. So you can see here high beam and low beam, hazard, turning indicators, and horn. So you can see here the passing light. So the passing light, I hit the color yellow. So I hope maybe in the future they want to change it to something dark, or for me, I prefer it to be blue because I love blue. So for the right side, this is the kill switch and ignition. So headlight and the ignition. So guys, for me, for this range, the quality here is really nice. But when it comes to this, so for this one, I know that this wouldn't last long because this will get rusty and will lock up. So for this one, I hope that in the future of Bristol, they want to change this to more somewhat really a good quality. Also for this one. So because of that metal, it will get rusty in the future. So for the grips are really nice. No need for you to change it. But if you want to change it, you can change it to a color brown just to make it resembles a really good, or just to make it a really classic bike. So for the grips, it is actually nice. It's tight and it's sturdy. It's tight and not slippery. So for the clutch lever is actually light. You can see, you can do it with the 2 fingers. So for this bike, guys, it does not have any assist slipper clutch. But then again, it is still smooth and light. So for the right side, this is the brake lever, and the brake lever has some adjuster here. So it has an adjuster here. But for the clutch, it does not have. So what you see is what you get. And for the side mirrors, the side mirrors are actually nice. But again, let's look at it in a distance. Let's look at it in a far distance. So that's how the side mirrors are. So for me, this is a classic bike. So the first thing that I would do is change it into a bar end side mirror, just to make it really, to give its full potential, a really scrambler. Or then again, to make, if you want to go trail, you can just actually remove the bar end and put a more smaller side mirrors that can actually see far greater in behind. So that's the Bristol Veloce 500. So actually guys, this bike is really nice. it is aluminum. For the headlight, it's aluminum, and for this one. If you're trying to purchase a bike, you should also consider the stock tire of it, because tires are one of the best thing that keeps you from any accident. So the front tire is 110 by 80 by 19, and the stock tire is Pirelli. Again, the stock tire is Pirelli. We all know what Pirelli is. It is very expensive. And for the rear, so the rear tire is, wow, look at that beauty. So nice. The dual exhaust. I God, just appreciate the beauty of a single-sided swing arm. So again, the rear tire is 160 by 60 by 17. So again, the stock tire is still Pirelli. So very nice quality. If you're wondering if this is tubeless or not, actually guys, this is tubeless. As you can see to the spoke wheels are outside. It is not in the middle. So tubeless can fit here. So again, you can never see that kind of design in this category and for an affordable price. We all know, or we can see that those design only exist on BMWs or those in the higher CC categories bike. So again, this bike is really something. And now let us go for the front brakes. So it has a dual disc brake, and the size is 300mm, and the brake calipers are Nissin. So the stopping power of this bike is really nice. And those calipers aren't ordinary calipers. Those are one of the expensive types of calipers behind Brembos. So let us go for the rear. So for the rear guys, so the rear disc brake is the size of 240mm steel Nissin. But for me, for the brake stopping power, it isn't actually nice. I think, I'm not an expert, but I believe I have used this bike. The stopping power of the rear isn't that great. I think they need to change it, or at least improve the stopping power for the rear. So again, but still, the qualities are really nice. I'm not saying that it's bad, it is still nice. So for the seat quality, it is really nice leather. As you can see to the video, I hope that you see what I saw. This is a really nice quality. The foam are really nice. It's very soft. So again, let us now open and to look what is inside. So this is its key. So for the key, it is really basic. So there's no other chichiborichis. What you see is what you get here. So for this one guys, I really hate the design of this because the keyhole is under here. So if you're wondering, this one will get rusty in the future or somewhat, it gets damaged. We don't know. But still again, I hope that they will change it or put it somewhere that is safe. So now let us open the seat cover. So you just need to twist it. Okay, let's open it. Okay. So this is what it looks like in the inside. So again, you cannot put anything here. You can only put some important files like ORCR or files that you want to go when you're traveling. So this is the seat. Very nice quality. Okay, so now let us check the seat height and the fuel capacity. So now let us go to the fuel capacity and for its seat height. So for the fuel capacity, it is an 18 liters that consumes an average of 23 kilometer per liter if it's a walwal mode. But in a confidence, or I mean in a relaxed mode, city driving or long ride, it consumes around 25 kilometer per liter. So for a 500cc category, that is a better fuel. This bike is really a fuel efficient. So again, you should consider the fuel capacity. I mean, if you're purchasing a bike, you should also consider how much fuel it consumes, because especially if you're budgeting, it adds a lot of money per value. So the nice thing about the tank is it's not hitting your tummy or your body, because I really love the design of this tank. So it wouldn't have any scratches, because for me, I want to preserve the quality and color of the bike. So aside from that, the seat height is 760mm. That's a very good seat height. A height of 5'5" or at least 5'3" can ride the Bristol Veloce 500. So the ground clearance is 190mm and the curb weight is 163 kilogram. Again, the curb weight is 173 kilogram. For a 500cc displacement bike, that is a really nice curb weight. So again, it is very nimble, very light, easy to maneuver in terms of track or city driving. So now let us go to its other aspect. So now let us go to the lights. So for the headlight, it is LED. Turning indicators are all LED. So let's try to switch it on. So switch it on. So that is the daytime running light. And for the turning indicators, it has an hazard. So again, that's an added points because it has already a hazard installed. So again, let us now go to the headlight switch. So one of the nice thing about the switches is you can actually turn it off and you can actually turn it on. So for example, let's turn it off, okay? So for the rear backlight, it's off, okay? It's off, but still it functions. If you want to brake, so per se, I couldn't do it both, but if you want to brake, this will light up. But one of the nice thing here is actually you can change it. So let's try to change the switch. So like that. So now it's turning on. So again, for me, I'm a type of person that is really frugal and I want to keep as much as possible to minimize the expense of the batteries or the capacity of my bike. So for me, that's an added point. So yan. I'll actually turn it off, turn it on. And for this, for the light, that is the high beam, and low beam. So again, that is a very nice quality. Now let's turn it off. So that's it, what it looks like from behind. And now let us go for the features. So it only has dual channel ABS that can be turned on or turned off. So it does not have an assist sleeper clutch or riding modes. Maybe in the future they could add a riding mode where you're going to truck or city driving. That would add a lot more value to this bike. So aside from that, it has a diamond steel frame. It has already a skid plate installed. That's a very nice thing. The skid plate is a really good quality material, and also it has a radiator guard already installed, so that will save you a lot of money. So one of the nice thing or the highlight of this bike is it has a single-sided swing arm that you wouldn't see in this category. At the price point of 358,000, you already have a single-sided swing arm, 500cc. The bike is very light and very nimble, and above all, the tires are Pirelli. You couldn't ask for anything. Aesthetic is there, power is there, torque is there, single-sided swing arm, spoke wheels, can do both off-road and city driving. So again, this bike is a total package. They just need to add a little bit more, and especially on the riding modes. So again, this is its features. I just want to highlight the suspension of this bike, the center gravity of its weight, the nimbleness of this bike, how good its tires, and how good its power and torque. So when I was riding this bike, I was riding it from Cebu to South. So any people who are living here in Cebu, you know what the road conditions are going there. So again, this bike is really capable of going to anywhere. Even though the road is uneven, a lot of bumps, a lot of road that aren't fixed yet, but this bike overcome it everything with smoothness because of how good the suspension are and how protected the bike is, and again how nimble and how light it is. The travel is really relaxed. So I traveled from Cebu to South around just within 2 hours. So because of this bike, I was able to overcome any uneven roads with ease. So again, this bike is really built for Philippines. So I am done reviewing the Bristol Veloce 500. This is the latest version. So again, this bike is really underrated. So thank you, Bristol Philippines, Bristol Cebu, Sir Gerson, the area manager of Bristol. Thank you, sir, for allowing me to borrow the Veloce. And again, the people working under Bristol Cebu, thank you so much, guys, for entertaining me. So aside from that, I hope in the near months, we might be able to review the Assassin Bristol or the Bristol Assassin 400R. That's their first category entry level of their naked bikes. Again, that's a very nice bike. So I think that's it. Please like and subscribe if you want motorcycle. If you want updates from motorcycle, push the subscribe button. And if you want updates, push the notification bell. So if you have any question, just comment down. If you want to know about more, just comment down. Again, if you think that I have so much to improve or what else to improve, just comment down. I'll be gladly reading that, and I will be gladly entertaining that. So that's it. So I'm done. So now time to go home. So good night and stay safe and God bless.
Sige! Ikaw mo! Pasikatin mo, sumo mo kay Tulpo. Mga presidente, BBM. Anong petsa? Anong oras?